good fight after work. We're here with Sensei Pastor Michael Proto, aka Punching Pastor. Okay, today, lesson number 5. If you've been following us along this entire time from lesson 1 up until now, I want to congratulate you. It's not always an easy road to maintain a sense of self-discipline and self-control when you're looking for the betterment of yourself, the betterment of society. So we've covered a lot of ground so far, a lot of basic materials, from establishing our structure, understanding our distance, understanding our footwork, understanding our rhythm, understanding certain amounts of sensitivity. We looked at our jab, we looked at our cross. We started understanding torque mechanics. We started moving with certain things. So that's a lot of material that we've already covered. We're gonna go back to some of those drills today. We're gonna look again at our range once again, but we're gonna add something today. We're gonna look at some sensitivity development, and also we're gonna come back to the right hand. We're gonna come back to that jab, okay? And we're gonna look at it from potentially 2 separate distances today, along with the torque mechanics once again. So you're doing something new, but you gotta understand that we're gonna be repeating a few things. At the end of the day, what is the mother of all skill? Sensei.
Repetition.
Mother of all skill starts with awareness, self-control, and choice. To show up, do the same thing over and over again, but at the edge of your abilities. Okay, that's called deliberate practice, and we're gonna get going with that today. So, first thing we're introduced to you, okay, drill number 1 is gonna be sensitivity development on our phase 1. We're gonna be here in front of each other. We're in our stances, okay, so we're gonna Thai boxing stance. You take your hands and put them out in front of you like we've shown. The only difference this time is you bring those elbows out slightly in front of you and you make contact with the palms. You relax your arms as if they're 2 antennas. You're gonna relax your body, okay? And you're pushing slightly from your back leg, through your hips, through your shoulders, and out your arms until you feel a connection to your opponent, or in this case, your partner. What's gonna happen here is that you're gonna have one leader, okay, and one follower. I like to also say we're gonna have an emitter. He's gonna emit the electrical current or the intention, and I'm gonna be the receiver, feeling what's happening with the energy inside the space. So here, he's gonna move forward. So when he advances, I wanna maintain that distance. When he steps back, I stay glued to him. When he moves left, I move with him. When he moves right, I move with him. The key point is maintaining the elbow distance. So I want that fist and the thumb, a fist and a half length away from my body on both sides, okay? So when I'm doing this, okay, Sensei here steps back, and my arms are lengthened, I know I need to cover that distance. So I maintain my structure, okay, I push slide, and boom, I'm right back in that range. When he steps in, if this happens, go ahead please, okay? When my elbows are close, okay, to my structure, I know my arms are collapsed, I need to step back. I want to do my best to maintain in this range. Okay, let's try it.
Thanks.
Excellent. Now that's a sensitivity drill. If you did it correctly, you'll actually feel like you're thinking potentially a little less. You might even be a little calmer. What it's really meant to do is you're closing your eyes and you're changing your primary mode of functioning in the world. So you're becoming more sensory. That's why we call it a sensitivity drill. Of course, the more you do it, the more that you'll understand the adaptations that are occurring inside of you when you do it. Now we're going to move on. In lesson 4, we started looking at torque mechanics. We remember this one. So I'm going to go through it again with us. Get into our stances. Make sure that your hands behind your back. Tuck that belly button in, chin is in. Roll the shoulders ever so slightly forward. You pivot that hip forward. So you bring that hip all the way forward. Drop the shoulder. When you pull back, focus on that shoulder that's in the front. You're going to synchronize it with your heel and your knee. Put the leg back in place and rotate. Okay? From here, make sure that you drive it into the ground, boom, and you rotate. Drive it into the ground and rotate. Drive it into the ground and rotate. We're going to do 3 minutes on this, and then we're going to move forward onto the next drill. It's feeling better already.
I did this last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You did like it?
Yeah.
Just nice, relax. All right, now that was some of our torque drill, and that's just learning how to throw your cross, how to throw your hooks and some of your rotational punches, doing it without the tools, of course. What we're gonna do here, okay, you're gonna line up with your partner, you set your lead hand out, and we're gonna be in this range here, so the elbow to elbow range, okay? What we'll do is that our hands are up. Partner, okay, he's gonna move around. We already know this. It's like our ranging drill. So as he moves around, go ahead, okay, I'm sticking to him. The only difference, okay, is that you want to tune into him as if you were doing this, right, hand to hand, okay? So that when he moves around, I'm sensing him. So when we're here, we're in our range, okay, we return the tools. When he moves, I sense my partner. I'm not looking for him. I'm trying to feel. Try to feel his intention. I want to try to feel his body move, okay? Some of you might not be accustomed to that, but where you can start, if you're having difficulty to understand what I'm saying, is that if you ask the question right now, what is the temperature of the room like? You would have to feel it, okay? So you ask yourself that, what's the temperature of the room? Is it hot? Is it humid? That's a way to start getting into that sensory mode that we want to be in when we're training. So we're here, okay? He moves wherever he wishes. Boom. He's going to flash the right hand. I'm going to shoot the right hand, okay? We want to do the jab, and then we want to do the cross, okay? But I'm going to be doing an uppercut because I still can't fully extend my arm, all right? So partner moves, you shoot the basics, and you're maintaining your range. You jab, cross, and you jab. But the real nuance here, shifted modes. Okay, let's give that a go. that's a basic drill for your jab cross jabs. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a few things together. We're gonna be working our parry, so we started looking at some of our defense. The only thing is now, he's gonna fire his jab. When he shoots a jab, he's doing it away from my face for now, because we're not wearing any gloves, and we're keeping each other safe. So when the shot comes in, okay, I'm gonna lever parry. So I'm basically doing a slap parry. I'm slapping the hand away. Once I've slapped, okay, I'm gonna come in cross, okay, jab, cross, boom. Simple as that, right? Partner can move around, okay, he moves around when he wants, and he shoots the jab, parry, jab, cross, jab, okay? Once again, okay, parry, cross, sorry, I said jab, cross, jab, cross. So we'll do it one more time. Right from here. Straight down the pipe. Okay, let's give that a go. Now we're gonna move on. So in our last training session, we started looking at the push kicks. Partner here, but he's gonna fire off his lead push kick. He's gonna fire off his rear push kick. I'm gonna go gentle with my own elbow. When he does the lead push kick, okay, he's aiming at the bladder, he's aiming at my belly button. Go ahead. So he makes contact. When the contact comes in, right hand is protecting the face, left comes down, it scoops. Okay, it's just gonna pull it off to the side. Now you're gonna lift the leg up ever so slightly, okay, and then you're gonna drop it, give it back. He's gonna fire off his right. Okay, he shoots the right, under scoop, left hand protects the face, pull it off to the side. Now the only thing that we're adding to this is that back leg is going to create a bit of distance, so it's going to step back as we do the under scoop catch to create that distance. Okay, so the push kick comes in, boom, right here, pull it off to the side. Then give it back to him, he goes with the right, push kick, under scoop, pull it off to the side, give it back to him. One person is going to be firing the shots the entire round, and then you're going to switch. So look at it one more time. Left comes in, pull it off. Good. Right comes in, pull it off. Okay, let's give it a go. Well done, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed yourself and you had fun doing this. We covered a lot of stuff in this training session. And like I said before, these training sessions, although you might have done one drill, one skill per drill, or multiple skills per drill, you can actually go ahead and do this session all over again. You can even pause it and look at the instructions over again just to get a clearer understanding of it. There's this common talk these days that our attention is diminishing, and I can agree with that. I mean, social media can be absolutely destructive towards our attention span and those networks of our brain. However, our job, right, not just as being Mike, but our role as humans is to always be pushing the outer skirts of our potential. And that means that self-control and self-awareness have to come first and foremost, because without them, I can't make the best decisions for myself. I'm actually a slave to my wants and desires, because every time I get what I want, I'll hurt myself. That's called slavery. It's not freedom, right? Freedom is that I might want something, but I'm going to say no. So I have choice. I'm going to choose to do this. That might be difficult in that moment, but on the other side of it, right, short-term pain is long-term gain, reward, and true prosperity on the other side. And that in and of itself, the ability to go through the adversity, what might have been difficult, to do that hard thing, on the other side of it is a small sense of positive pride, but an empowerment, because where you feel strength, it becomes your baseline. So we can recondition our attention, and in order to do that, right, you gotta be able to sit with yourself, you gotta be able to concentrate on one thing. And if it's just this video, you show up and you do the whole training session, I really want to congratulate you. That's a tough thing. Later down the line, we want to be able to push these videos even longer so you can train more and gain from it even more. But in order to do that, you have to build yourself up in equality of what we can provide for you. So that being said, okay, Mike always says, God loves you, and
God bless you.
God bless you. God loves you. And we'll see you on the next one.